Some tales are told to warn, others to remember, but a few, a rare, cursed few, are told simply because the book will not let them be forgotten. This story was written long before my name found its place on this cover, and yet it clings to me, as if it knows. Tonight I share with you the first page of a forgotten legacy, a story written not in ink, but in smoke and blood. It begins, as most dark things do, with a light. The candle at Black Hollow, 1810, Somerset County, England. The village of Black Hollow was little more than a cluster of stone cottages, and one crooked church built atop a ruined well. It was a place untouched by time, where the mist never lifted and the birds never sang. But no one feared Black Hollow. They feared what waited just beyond it, the abandoned Blackwood Manor, nestled in the woods like a rotting tooth in a dead jaw. Children dared not speak its name aloud. Even the priests would not bless the soil near its rusted gates. It had been empty for decades, or so they said. But on the night of the first frost, a candlelight was seen in the window of the manor's highest tower. A week later, a stranger arrived in the village. He wore a long coat stained with ink, and his eyes were pale and distant, as if he'd looked too long into the abyss and found it looking back. He introduced himself only as a researcher, though no one ever heard his name. He asked too many questions, about the manor, about the Blackwood name, about a book that erases itself. Old Maggie at the inn refused to speak with him. The pastor crossed himself when the man passed, and young Henry, the butcher's son, swore he saw the man whispering to his own shadow in the moonlight. Still, the stranger stayed. And each night, the candle burned again in the Blackwood Tower. On the third night, the stranger left the village inn and made his way to the manor gates. He carried a small satchel and a leather-bound book with no title. He was not seen again. But on the seventh day, a boy wandering too close to the tree line found the satchel sitting at the gate, untouched by frost or mud. Inside was the book, its pages filled with a strange, scrawling script, and a single phrase etched into the inner cover: "To write is to offer memory. To read is to steal from the silence." Father O'Connell, despite his better judgment, brought the book into the church. That night he read a passage aloud, and the bell rang once, though no hand pulled the rope. He read further. Words about a child sacrificed beneath the Blackwood cellar, a woman who sang to bones, a mirror that showed the day you'd be forgotten. Each night he read, the candle at the manor flared brighter, until finally his voice stopped, mid-sermon, mid-breath. His eyes turned glassy. He dropped the book and walked into the woods. He never returned. What follows was recovered from a hidden page, found stuck between the bindings, a confession of sorts, written by the stranger. I found it in the lower library. I should have never opened the seventh lock. It doesn't demand belief, only memory. That's how it feeds. They say the Blackwoods kept it hidden for centuries, that it was never meant to be written in, only guarded. But I was curious, and now I am vanishing, not dying, not disappearing, just being unwritten. I can no longer remember my sister's name. The book has taken her. I tried burning it. It does not burn. I tried burying it. It returned. And now the only place left to put it is here. The burning of Black Hollow. The church was found split in half, as though torn by some unseen hand. The book had vanished, and at the manor, the candlelight became fire. Villagers saw the tower ablaze, flames licking the fog like tongues from the pit. But the fire never spread. Only the manor burned, and only for a single hour. When it stopped, all that remained was ash. No stone, no wood, no metal. Just a circle of blackened earth, and at its centre, a closed book untouched by flame, and for the first time its cover bore a name, the Unholy Chronicles. Keeper E.N. The man had no name, you see. Or rather, his name had already been taken. The book remembers, even if the world does not. It remembers Black Hollow, the fire, the shadow that whispered back. And it remembers the boy who broke the seventh lock. But that is a story for another time. Now then, traveller, shall we turn the next page?